Another option we have is using the Raytrace renderer in After Effects. So After Effects will support 3D, but there's a little bit of a trick to it. So in this particular comp here, again, I just have a text layer here that says Raytraced. It's turned into 3D, and I have a camera in here, so I can move around it in space, right? So I'm just moving it around. You'll notice that the position is not changing as I'm moving that around. I'm merely moving around this particular layer. Once I have an object selected like a text layer, I can go up here to the renderer. And right now, this is the classic 3D renderer. And what this is basically saying is, hey, if you want to stick with that kind of step and repeat thing, we can do that. It's going to be super easy. It's going to be great. If I want this in true 3D, I might want to use something called the Raytrace renderer. So I've clicked on this guy here, and that opens up this particular window here. It's my composition settings. And from in here, I can choose the Raytraced 3D renderer. And as soon as I do that, it's going to give me an alert screen. It basically means that when I choose this, I can create extruded edges from my different layers. I can create fairly true reflections and refractions, and a couple other options. You'll notice that it doesn't support blending modes, track mats, layer styles, masks, etc. So I'm going to hit OK. And I'm going to hit OK here as well. And it's going to take just a second here. And by default, you can see that it's already extruded some options out. Now that I have my ray traced object in here, you'll notice if I twirl this down, we have our text or transform just like we did before. But now we also have something called geometry options. And in here, we can set a couple different things. We can set the extrusion, and in this case, it is 20 pixels. If I want to make this, say, 80, I can do that as well. And what this is basically doing is pulling out those faces that we have from our object originally and just pulling it out in space. Again, it's a little hard to see exactly what's going on because it's just a solid flat object. So I'm going to go ahead and choose a bevel style. I'm going to create an angular bevel across this guy. And so now we can kind of see what's happening here. When I've beveled this out, it's taking that information and it's just creating a little bit of an edge around it. So now we can see each individual one of these objects. So I'm going to change this just to the letter A, and we can really see what's going on now here with this bevel. And I'll put this up at full resolution so we can see the difference here. And in here I can also set the bevel depth, so I can really kind of pull things out. Now the caveat with the Raytrace renderer, as you can see, even if I'm making these slight changes, it's taking quite a while to make these changes and then render it properly. So if I was working with a complex scene here, this may be a slower option. Thanks a lot. Again, my name is Stanislaw Luberda. I hope you found this information useful, and if you have any further questions about After Effects training or classes available, feel free to stop by our website at www.c2gps.com.